my knife designs are better than others. Here's why. I didn't try to come up with something new when I designed the Shaman East Companion, the Spark, the Lovogrud. What I did do is try to use 200 plus years of history and build on it and make newer and better designs. Shaman East was designed and built around the concept of a really long belt knife. Most of these knives that were carried by the long knives, George Rogers Clark, the Shaman East that the Shawnee called them, were worn in the belt, literally in this manner right here, just tucked in. That's the intent of the Shaman East, was built on this concept. Fantastic blades, fighting tools, user tools, trapping, cleaning game, all that kind of good stuff. What was also there for those frontiersmen were what were considered bag knives. And these were knives of this nature. These could have been worn on the belt, but more often than not, they were built onto the straps of their possibles pouches. They would have been worn sometimes in the pouch itself, sometimes on the back of the pouch. And in that manner, these blades were basically a secondary everyday tool. Beyond that were neck knives. So you have small little knives that were worn around the neck. This is where I got the inspiration, or part of the inspiration, for the Spark and carrying it around the neck. These were, again, everyday knives that would be used for the multitude of tasks that you'd use a small blade for and have it worn around your neck so it was easy to get to. These neck knives could have easily been patch knives too, basically hung on the pouch, but if they were worn around the neck, they could be used for cutting patches. So when you load a black powder firearm, whether it's a flintlock or percussion, it's powder, patch, and ball, powder, patch, and ball. It's an easy thing to remember. Put your powder in, put your patch, put your ball. And then usually, depending upon the type of patching, there might be some excess. And so you'd always have a real accessible knife that you could cut the excess patching off as you were loading. So you could wear that as a neck knife or on the strap of your possibles or rifleman's pouch. Now, the inspiration for the Spark was basically kiridashi and patch knives. So kiridashi were small knives that were carried by a lot of Japanese school children into the schools to sharpen pencils and just do everyday work that you would use a knife for back before, stupid stuff happened and kids couldn't carry knives to school. Today, Japanese school children still often carry some sort of kiridashi to school because, they're not stupid like we are and haven't raised children that are not allowed to carry knives. But the Spark was built upon that framework, as well as the concept of making it a bushcraft tool. That's why the Spark has the ability to do bow drill, flint and steel, strike a ferro rod, and cut and do all that stuff. So again, I'm just borrowing on designs that are hundreds and hundreds of years old in some respects. Stuff that has worked for that long definitely will work for us. That's why I partner with companies like LT Wright Knives, REC, River's Edge Cutlery, to build fantastic tools that do fantastic tasks, do them very well with great materials. Come on, join in. Let's cut some stuff together.